It's Thanksgiving Day and we're gathered round. Little children make a joyful sound. And there's no school and we get to play. And we're all thankful for this day, except for the turkey. La 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 la. Except for the turkey. There's a wreath of leaves on the front door, and we all say what we're thankful for. There's such good food and there's such great fun, and there's such big smiles on everyone, except for the turkey. La 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 la. Except for the turkey. We all join hands and sing the song with happy hearts and a love that's strong. We bow our heads, then we have our feast. It's a lovely day to say the least, except for the turkey. La 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 la. Except for the turkey. Except for the turkey.
Thanksgiving. It's the time of year when those who choose not to eat animals out of kindness and love confront their friends and loved ones over America's most food-obsessed holiday. There is a kinder alternative.
Tonight we take a vegetarian look at the Thanksgiving tradition, where people who don't eat animals can escape the casual holocaust, and some thoughts on interacting with those who do plan to eat somebody in celebration.
First we hear from Dacia, who talks with the head chef at Mango's restaurant about their holiday offerings. Then, Jerrilyn takes on the entire crew from Super Happy Fun Land, who will hold their 7th annual vegetarian Thanksgiving potluck tomorrow.
Finally, we head out to Seguin, Texas, to learn about the SARA Animal Sanctuary, which cares for hundreds of abandoned animals and invites everyone to their all-day Thanksgiving vegan feast.
We celebrate life tonight on Vegan World Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to KPFT. This is Vegan World Radio, and I am Dacia. I just wanted to make a few announcements about this coming week. Heart is going to be flyering, that's the Houston Animal Rights team, at the Thanksgiving Day Parade. They're going to be informing people about turkeys and their intelligence and why it's cruel to eat them. It's going to be tomorrow morning, Thursday, November 26th. Meet 8 a.m. at the corner of Texas and Crawford, that's downtown Houston. Call 832-380-HART if you want to join us. Hart is also going to be leafleting at the Uptown Holiday Lighting Ceremony, informing people about animal rights. That's going to be tomorrow afternoon, Thursday, November 26th. We're going to meet at 7 p.m. in Uptown Houston on Post Oak Boulevard between San Felipe and Westheimer. If you want to get involved, give Hart a call at 832-380-HART. You can also find out more about this event at HoustonAnimalRights.com. You can also get involved in Fur Free Friday. It's going to be a protest. You can bring your own sign or use one of ours. That's going to be Friday, November 27th, Black Friday. It's going to be 10 a.m. to noon. We are going to be standing in protest of the needless death of animals made into fur coats outside of Neiman Marcus at 2600 Post Oak Boulevard in the Galleria. Just a few other events to talk about on Thanksgiving. Tomorrow you can visit the animals while enjoying a vegan Thanksgiving potluck at the SARA Animal Sanctuary, which is located in Seguin, Texas. For more information about that, call 830-401-0280. The Loving Hut Vegan Restaurant, which is located at 2825 South Kirkwood, will be open for a vegan Thanksgiving feast. You can call them for directions at 281-531-8882. There will also be a free vegetarian potluck at Super Happy Funland, which is located at 3801 Polk Street. Happy Veggie Day. They are going to have dinner music by Rusted Shut, vegan performance art, and a whole lot more. So give them a call for more information at 713-880-2100. Next up, I'm going to be talking to Chef Craig at Mangoes about their vegetarian and vegan Thanksgiving event. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to KPFT. I am Dacia Clay, and I will be interviewing Chef Craig from Mangoes about their... Craig, is it a vegetarian or a vegan Thanksgiving that you guys are having?
We're going to be all vegetarian, and the vast majority of it will be vegan. Everything from mashed potatoes to garlic bread to seitan turkey slices.
Awesome. So, is this event actually going to be on Thanksgiving Day, or are you guys going to have it on other days as well?
Well, we're going to be doing this holiday feast Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights, we also have live country music. We'll kind of have tie it in to be a country holiday feast this Wednesday, as well as every Wednesday for the rest of 2009, if things go well.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So, what's the address of Mangoes? How do people get to you guys?
Mangoes is at 403 Westheimer. That is on the corner of Taft and Westheimer. We are at the intersection, a catty corner from La Strada and next to Sacred Heart Tattoo Shop. You can find us online at mangoscafehouston.com.
Okay, awesome. So why are you guys doing this?
Well, the point of Thanksgiving and the holidays for me has always been just to have friends and family together. What's on the table is important in a lot of ways. I grew up maybe with a very Norman Rockwell notion of Thanksgiving, but just have friends and family together. Everyone celebrates their own way, and I think Wednesday night is a very Mangoes way of celebrating. There's lots of merriment and live music, and not everyone in the Mangoes family would necessarily have somewhere to go. So we can come together as a group at Mangoes and eat with strangers as well as people we've worked hard with for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think that's great because, you know, vegetarians always have, well, not always, but vegetarians tend to have a harder time at Thanksgiving than a lot of folks because at probably no other time of year do we get more criticism for our diets with our families and occasionally our friends. So Thanksgiving dinner can be a little trying in that way, and of course just we don't get as many options at the table. So it's great that there's going to be somewhere for people to go this year who really would like to celebrate all of the things that others celebrate.
Right, and I believe this was my experience when I was just becoming vegetarian, and I've known many people who have had similar experiences where they decide that the vegetarian or vegan diet is one that they want to pursue much more seriously, and they stick with it and they learn a lot and are very happy with themselves, and then around the holidays that all starts to slip a little bit, just whether that's family pressure or a connection with what they used to eat every year at Thanksgiving. Feel like you're giving up maybe part of your own history if you stop eating the turkey. And I guess we're out to show that it's every bit of Thanksgiving or the holidays without mass turkey slaughter.
Right, that's a really great point. You and I have talked about that before, how it's not really adopting a vegetarian or vegan diet is not about giving things up. It's about doing things a bit differently. But I think that you're spot on when you say that around the holidays, it certainly can feel, especially for new vegetarians, that that's exactly what's going on, that you're having to sacrifice something. And that is certainly not the case. I've had the good fortune of having a lot of vegetarians in my family. There are actually usually more of us at holiday dinners than meat eaters, and so we've sort of taken over the preparation of the meals. It's kind of a reverse situation where the people who want to have turkey or whatever have to bring their own, which is kind of cool. It wasn't always like that, but more and more people in my family have become vegetarian, so I feel kind of lucky in that way. But yeah, you mentioned the mass turkey slaughter, which we cannot avoid talking about on this show, and I did a little bit of research and found out that in 2008, according to flowingdata.com, 45 million turkeys were consumed on Thanksgiving alone. And according to eatturkey.com, which is the very disturbing website of the National Turkey Federation, has more information about turkeys than any vegan or vegetarian should ever know.
I like that name, though, National Turkey Federation. I think I could rename some other groups to have that name as well.
Right. I was thinking that, most groups with names like that typically are representing a specific portion of the population. Like, the AARP represents older people. This is a real misnomer for sure. But according to their website, 29% of turkey consumed in the U.S. is consumed around the holidays. And make no mistake, listeners, there's no special treatment for holiday turkeys. So I really encourage you to, if you're new to vegetarianism, really try to stick with it this holiday. And I've got a few suggestions for how to deal with that, because I certainly have not always had the benefit of having so many vegetarians in my family. So I know that it can be difficult. Craig, what's been your specific personal experience? How have you dealt with it?
Well, for me, I've been excited to cook for a while. So if I'm the one making the cornbread and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes, then there's absolutely no problem for me at all. But a lot of people have asked me, what does a vegetarian eat at Thanksgiving? Since the focus is on the turkey and so many turkeys are consumed, kind of lose sight on things like the cornbread, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the sweet potatoes. There's so much in this cornucopia that it's really, really easy to be stuffed Thanksgiving night and in a comatose sleep and never even make your way around the table to the turkey plate. So
that is very, very true. I can attest to the at least 5 pounds that I put on every holiday season.
I, for one, have always been excited about the Tofurkey brand holiday roast.
It's good stuff.
I only find it this one time a year, starting about October through whenever they sell out in the winter. I personally like those. Other people have made their own Tofurkeys with pressed tofu and stuffing.
There's also the celebration roast, which does not taste anything like turkey, but which I think is pretty good.
What's in this celebration roast? I've never heard of that one.
You know, I'm not entirely sure. It's some kind of wheat gluten thing, but it is vegan.
It's also a great time of year for, I've had to design a couple meals for people who have celiacs or would otherwise be wheat-free. So there is so much other corn and potato-based dishes for the holidays. It's another great opportunity there.
Definitely. Yeah, it's incredibly easy to veganize most of your holiday options, but you know, a lot of people, especially younger people, they're obligated to eat with their families during the holidays, and their families might not share their diets. Do you have any suggestions for those people?
Well, one really easy thing to do, let's say you're just going to your family's house for Thanksgiving Day, on the day before, or on your way out there. Places like Whole Foods have vegan pumpkin pie. You can just go, zero preparation on your part, just go pick one up, take the label off, put it on the table, and you've veganized at least one dish on the table without anyone ever knowing about it.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I used to do as well. I used to just bring my own food. It got to the point where I would bring a cooler of food to my family's Thanksgiving.
Another thing, I guess this is airing a little late for Thanksgiving, but maybe some of the winter holidays this will be helpful. One of my friends is new to the vegan diet, and her mother is going to be cooking the holiday feast. Talk about it in advance. Most families, or a lot of families rather, will not want you to eat meat necessarily. They just don't understand. So talk about it in advance and what it is you want out of the feast, and a lot of people will be willing to accommodate a different kind of margarine instead of butter, as long as we know about it in advance. A lot of people don't know what earth balance is, and understand how that is different from margarine. So talk about the menu if you're going to a family member's house or somewhere where you're comfortable talking about that. Just give plenty of heads up.
Yeah, it can actually be a really great opportunity to have that conversation, because a lot of families are not being obstinate. It's not that they don't want to comply with, your wishes. It's that they simply don't understand, and it's a great opportunity to talk about your diet for the holidays and for future reference when dealing with your family. Answer the big question, what do vegetarians eat? And, it could be a gateway to an even greater conversation about, why. Why are you making that choice? Because I don't think that it's something that we spend a lot of time talking to our families about, and it might help them to have a bit of insight.
I think I kind of walked away there from the original question you asked. What was it again?
I was just asking what you would encourage people, especially young people who are in situations where they're not getting to plan their own Thanksgiving meals, and they're sort of obligated to eat the food that their families are making. So that was my original question.
Okay. Yeah, plan in advance. Either talk about it in advance, eat a little something beforehand, plan to bring something that can be cooked quickly while you're there. I mean, again, the big point of the holidays, we get very hung up on the food and the commercialism and things like that.
Well, I think, too, like you had started to say a little while ago, you love to cook, and so you offer to help, and that sort of alleviates the problem. So I think that if you offer to either help out with a substantial amount of the cooking, or if you can, offer to host Thanksgiving, that sort of solves your problem right there. Well, and I think that if none of these options are viable for you, dear listener, there's always the option of simply going elsewhere. Some families, some people that you might spend time with on the holidays really don't understand and really don't want to cooperate, and if that's the case, you do have the option of going elsewhere, and there are wonderful places to go, like Mangoes, for instance, where you can get a delicious meal so that you don't have to miss out altogether if you want it. There are all kinds of ways you could do this thing.
Or another option that I've exercised is arrive a little late, maybe. Come for the coffee and dessert. And you still have the togetherness, but you don't have to stare vacantly at an empty plate.
The empty stare of the Thanksgiving vegan. So sad. But it doesn't have to be. At all.
Exactly.
Well, great, Craig. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day to talk with us. And I hope to see you over the holidays. Perhaps at Mangoes.
Absolutely, guys. I hope to see you guys soon. And thanks for doing the show for everybody.
Of course. All right. Take care, Craig.
I will see you again.
All right. Bye-bye.
Listen to you, stuff like a world radio, please hit the FT. They talk about being nice to animals, yeah. Listen to you, stuff like a world radio, please hit the FT. They talk about being nice to animals, yeah.
Welcome back. This is the Vegan World Radio Show here on 90.1 KPFT in Houston. This is our Thanksgiving special. My name is Jerrilyn, and I'm grateful to Avon, who's producing this evening's show, to let me join in. Please remember that you can find us on YouTube, Twitter, and become a fan of our show. Just look for Vegan World Radio on Facebook. We're excited that in the last half of the hour we're going to be hope to be speaking to Tracy Frank for an update about the vegan Thanksgiving potluck and visit with the animals at the SARA Animal Sanctuary in Seguin, Texas. Just a few hours drive out of Houston, and a real chance to visit the animals that have permanent refuge there, as well as helping out a really great refuge and finding out more about what they do there. We're looking forward to that in the last half of the show. Also, if you're staying in Houston, remember to have a look at HoustonAnimalRights.com for all of the activist events beginning tomorrow morning with the Thanksgiving Day Parade at 8 a.m. downtown Houston. HoustonAnimalRights.com. You'll also find a link to a multitude of vegan holiday recipes that were made available from Nava Atlas and the Vegetarian Kitchen. She has an extraordinary recipe booklet there as well that supports women's charities, as well as offering you a number of delicious vegan recipes that cause no cruelty to any animal. So do give it a look. Coming up next, I'll be joined in the studio by the folks from Super Happy Funland. And they're going to tell us about tomorrow night's potluck and art performance and music over at the Super Happy Funland location on Polk Street. We'll also have a look at a brief clip, they're going to help me view this, that recently aired on the Martha Stewart Show. You may have seen it on YouTube. It's caused quite a stir, and it gives new meaning to the expression putting a face on your food. Very interesting. I don't think Martha intended this, but it's created a great tool for vegetarians to look at what she's created here with these baby costumes, and living babies are inside of the cavity of a roasted Thanksgiving turkey. As we're going to be joined by the Super Happy folks, let's get in the mood for performance art by having a listen to the turkey theme song that you can find at the ThanksLiving.com site and MySpace page for activities and resources for vegetarians and vegans on this holiday of Thanksgiving. Please give it a look, ThanksLiving.com. Remember, you are listening to the Vegan World Radio Show here on 90.1 KPFT in Houston.
Turkeys fly, then they multiply, they go wang, wang, wang. They set to fly, then they multiply, they go wang, wang, wang. I don't know why God made turkeys the way will ever know.
Super Happy Funland is joining us tonight, and they are having, is it the 7th annual vegetarian potluck that they've been having 7 years now? They're going to tell us about that and more. Before we get started, would you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Okay, I'm Brian. I'm the co-founder of Super Happy Funland.
I'm Olivia. I'm the co-founder of Super Happy Funland.
And I'm Jason, and I'm just a volunteer.
Well, this is wonderful, and you all have had this veggie-friendly art space for so many years. Tell us what Super Happy Funland is and why on your calendar of many events that you have every night, you have tomorrow listed as Happy Veggie Day, and the history of that.
Well, we are an art and performance space. We've been doing shows for 7 years now. We do about 100 bands every month. We also do art workshops. We do plays, parties. We're pretty much open for any different weird kind of thing that comes along.
Yes, we are a multi-purpose performance and art space.
And Jason, you're with us as well. Speak to us about your involvement with Super Happy and what you feel about it.
Well, I volunteer there and I perform there a lot, and one of the things I do there is
talk to people about veganism. He's pretty militant. Jason is the kind of our vegan
Awesome.
I do
spokesperson.
perform musical performance art, and I yell at the audience about their bad practices and animal abuse, soap, Procter and Gamble products, stuff like that.
Fur,
electrocuting animals so that you can get a mink fur coat, stuff like that.
This is powerful. Now, you do this on stage. How frequently would you see these? And for a lot of the folks in the audience who listen to our show, maybe they haven't been to Super Happy. I know that you've changed locations recently, but this sounds fascinating that you do this on stage with the animal rights message. And
yeah, I don't perform that often. I mean, it's usually mainly like special occasions. Maybe there's some Thanksgiving there might be a performance.
You can look for him listed. His band's name is Police State America, which is the abbreviation is PSA. So.
And so I deliver PSAs from PSA about
about animal rights and other atrocities and such.
Excellent. What's that website again?
Well, there's a MySpace, Police State America.
Excellent. We're going to look you up.
Thank you.
Now, Brian, tell us, this is a new location for Super Happy, and you've got, it's an enormous space. You have space for film screenings, and you're open very flexible hours. Share with people who are first hearing about you what they'd be in store for if they come to visit.
Well, we have 160 theater seats. We have a full-size movie screen. We have an art gallery. We have a lending library. We do a potluck cookout every Sunday. But every Thanksgiving, we decided that even though a lot of our friends do eat meat, we decided that we'd kind of foist our vegetarian ideas on them and inflict them with having to eat really great tasting vegetarian food on Thanksgiving.
But it is a nice alternative for a lot of people who will go to traditional Thanksgiving meals and really have nothing there for them. They can come to our place and know that it's okay for them to eat pretty much everything that we have out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a family thing. We see some of the same people every year that they'll bring their kids out, and it's like, oh, hey, nice to see you guys again. And Thanksgiving is a time where families get together, and a lot of vegetarians do kind of feel left out because their families are having big fancy turkeys and hams and stuff like that, and they don't really feel comfortable with that, so they can come to our place after they're done with their family and
recuperate.
Yeah, and have a nice kind of vegetarian family dinner.
And it is a potluck, so if people want to bring stuff, they're more than welcome to.
Now, we're going to talk about actually the icon of the Thanksgiving centerpiece that most meat eaters have on their table in just a little bit. But for people who do want to come out tomorrow, again, let us know how they find you. And if they bring a dish, there'll also be some other food provided. Like a lot of people don't necessarily are gifted in the kitchen, but if they maybe brought a donation or something to share. Or
Yeah, napkins and plates are always useful too.
paper towels, cups. No. Well, you can find all the information about us is on our website, www.superhappyfunland.com, and our address is 3801 Polk Street, Houston, Texas 77003. We are about a mile and a half south of downtown, or 10 blocks away, or no, several blocks away from south of Toyota Center on Polk Street, Polk and Milby, which is near Scott Street. From I-45, you would take the Scott Street exit.
Or just look it up online.
Yeah, or look it up online and MapQuest it. But if you're not a map or computer savvy person, then
call and ask for
you can call and ask for directions. Can I give the number?
Yes.
It's 713-880-2100. So if you want to call, if you have any questions about this event, please, you're welcome to do so.
Now, what could people expect if they want to show up for the potluck? You have other things planned for tomorrow. When is the eating, and what should they expect?
Yeah, at 5 o'clock is when we're going to open, and we have a really giant fire pit barbecue grill that we put out front. And so we'll fire that up about 5 o'clock, and by 6 o'clock we should have some food coming out. I like making, my centerpiece dish is called a veggie chicken ham. You can get them at
the Chinese grocery store.
Yeah, Chinese grocery stores like Kim Hung. It's really my favorite fake meat. And what I do with it is I cut it in half and kind of gut it out and put stuffing in there. I use Pepperidge Farms stuffing, which is pretty much the only stuffing you can get at a regular grocery store that doesn't have like chicken stock or anything like that in there, and I use vegetable stock, and I kind of put, after I stuff the chicken ham, I put it back together, and I put I used to use a honey ancho sauce, but then some vegans have trouble eating honey, and so I started using agave nectar, and the agave is like really great. It's actually better than honey, and I made one today actually just to
test run.
As a test run, and so I did agave nectar and chipotle sauce on top of it, and and we roast it on the fire, and it's a really great centerpiece. Has stuffing. We do cranberry sauce with it, and so it's like almost like a traditional, Thanksgiving ham kind of dinner, but
it's either a chicken. It's like neither or both.
Yeah, it's not chicken, it's not ham, but it's really good for the not real meat. But we also make a lot of different vegetable dishes. We do like potatoes and garlic and onions. We roast that, and corn. I'll probably make a pumpkin soup, which use fresh pumpkin and coconut milk and some spices and.
This sounds so delicious. Now, Jason, you've been around Super Happy for a while. Tell us, you have some experience with these meals. I didn't realize we were in for such a treat with this.
Yeah, when I first discovered the place, I was blown away by the amount of really good vegan, fresh cooked meals right on the grill. And Olivia makes really good chili. Brian used to make really good green beans. I've not seen those around for a while.
Asparagus too.
Asparagus. But yeah, there's every Sunday, and then other times throughout the year, there's lots of great vegan and vegetarian eats for folks.
Well, now, and you've had this tradition going on for how many years now of the vegan Thanksgiving?
Well, actually, we were closed last year. We got shut down for not having an occupancy permit, so we didn't have it last year. But before that, we did it for 5 years, and so it's our 7th year running, but it'll be actually our 6th one that we've done.
Well, and so you have this tradition. You are always open your doors on Thanksgiving Day for vegetarians and make a party of it for the big extended family.
Yes, and we have bands afterwards too, and people hang out all night and play music and have fun. And
you have a very welcoming atmosphere. Anyone who hasn't tried it and is not familiar, you'll be in store for a treat. You feel like you're home when you come to visit. Now, what bands do you have in store for tomorrow?
If we're lucky, Police State America will play for us. He'll give us a PSA. Rusted Shut's also a favorite at our place. They're kind of a cantankerous band, but they're popular with the local folks. And then Poopy Lung Stuffing will play as well. That's Olivia, and I think Organ Failure might play as well. And then there's a couple other bands who, you know, it's kind of open.
Have an open mic.
Yeah, like the Crinkles said that they might play, and if there's any bands listening and they want to play, we'll come on by.
Or individuals, acoustic individuals who feel like getting up on stage, they can do so.
Now tell us about your performance art that you do yourself.
Well, I'm a ukulele player, singer person. I wear a costume and I perform with my electric ukulele, and that's what I do. I'm on the stage with the ukulele and my costume and
her beautiful voice. You can tell by listening to her on the radio what a great singer she is.
Everyone needs to come out and see for yourself tomorrow evening. Again, the address is
3801 Polk Street, Houston, Texas 77003, and our number is 713-880-2100.
SuperHappyFunland.com.
We're going to be in for a super happy time tomorrow evening. I look at your calendar that you have online and some copies going around, and I love the title you give for tomorrow. You don't even mention the other. It's Happy Veggie Day. I just love it. The celebration is vegetables, and as we know, you're going to have a fantastic centerpiece, of course, as you say, cruelty-free, absolutely no meat, but delicious, satisfying. And we're getting ready to take a look, though, at a little clip here that was actually on the Martha Stewart show. It's an unusual juxtaposition of the icon, so many people are seeing all over town, all over everywhere, the headless roasted turkey's body that we're all familiar with and makes all of us vegetarians cringe. And on the Martha Stewart show, there's actually a clip you can find on YouTube. This very nice lady who shows how to put babies inside of roasted animal bodies, and you can see them kicking around, so we're going to have a look at that.
Well, doesn't this look like a beautiful Thanksgiving table? This is all kinds of delicious food. Well, if you look closely, you'll see that this isn't a turkey at all. And this is not really a lobster. And this cute little lemon meringue pie is actually Hudson King. Yes, and he's smiling. And look at this. Cannon Thomas is fast asleep under her apple pie. She just loves this costume. Oh my gosh, and she has a little knife to cut the pie, a little pie server. Look at that darling thing. And we do have a Caesar salad, but Caesar salad baby that's Sonia. Sonia's having a little bit of a hard time being a Caesar salad. But all of these beautiful costumes are created by viewer Isabel Ortley, and she's here to show us how to make this great turkey in which Rebecca Deo is very happy. Aren't you, Rebecca? Aren't you? Hey! So just tell us a little bit about, now how did you make the lobster?
The lobster was the same way I did the turkey last year, but I used the puffy paint on it to add texture. And the claw, the feet can slip into the claw, so the claw can move. Yeah. And the butter sauce, I did just mix some yellow paint color with white glue and let it dry, and it went translucent a little bit, and it's like butter.
So what inspired you to do the turkey in the first place?
The turkey, I was trying to find something really funny to put my baby in, and something that I'll be able to carry him around. So, like, you know, I was you last year for Halloween. I was Martha, and my son was a roasted turkey, and I used a thing. You had
now, Isabel is now pregnant and going to have another baby in when?
I think next year I'll do something all different. Maybe sea creature, not cook one, but sea creature or something more beachy. I don't know yet.
Now, I just want you to realize that these babies, these wonderful food babies, are in a table with sides, so they're not going to roll off. And now we're going to show you how to make you'll show us how to make the turkey. We're going to borrow you, Rebecca, so that you can come over here and see all the directions for making Turkey 101.
Isn't that a great picture for Thanksgiving or Christmas card?
If you want your baby to be a turkey.
So what did you guys think after seeing this?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they just kept
surreal.
on wriggling around inside the fake
kind of David Lynchian
animals. Yeah, that's
fairly disturbing. Really.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, Jason, because, it's so many people take it for granted. They go, look at the beautiful turkey you've got. But when you see a baby's face sticking out of it and you see the dead, otherwise dead limbs kicking around, it reminds you that this was, of course, a living body before all this happened. And it almost seems like these babies who are all around the table. We've got the moving boiled lobster that's kicking around, the moving roasted, otherwise headless turkey. It really reminds you of what all of this is. And just, had you ever seen anything like this before?
No. I'm really not surprised, though. I mean,
it kind of reminds me of the Japanese dish that I say. It was like the latest craze in Japan is the fish that's still alive, and they cook it on one side, and it's still flopping around. For some reason, I just thought of that while the babies were inside the turkey costume. It's like living food is not a pretty image. So.
I'm hoping everybody goes and has a look, because if you're not vegetarian already, this might make you think. Especially one of the costumes comes with a knife right on top.
Yes. We're done.
Is there anything else that we've forgotten to talk about with Super Happy tonight?
Oh, well, since we're on the vegan show, I wanted Olivia to tell people about her delicious vegetarian chili that's actually award-winning vegan chili.
Oh yeah, I make an award-winning vegan chili. I might have it tomorrow if I can get it together. But yes, I've won an award in the Oddfellows Chili Cook-Off, and in March when we have the South by Southwest Overflow Fest, we feed it to all the traveling bands who are going back and forth from to and from Austin, and we get lots and lots of bands, and we feed them all vegan chili pretty much the whole period of the festival. And well, it's if you want the recipe, email us at info@superhappyfunland.com, and I will send it to you.
Soy riso is one of the key things, and
yes, there's lots of texturized vegetable protein and such.
We're really good big fans of soy riso. That stuff is really great. So.
That's the terrific thing, that there's no flavor, no texture that we can enjoy as vegetarians. And of course, as that video clip that we just looked at and heard, actual meat is a function of cruelty and death, and we don't need anything from the animals. We can have all the flavors that there are, all of the delicious celebrations, and kudos to you all for having such a veggie-friendly environment all of this time. And after Thanksgiving is over, you have the every weekend. You said there's open potluck for everyone. There is vegetarian food available, and vegetarians are welcome to join us. Is that right?
More than welcome. Yes, more than welcome. Yes, the more the merrier.
Yeah, and you had mentioned before about our saying Happy Veggie Day. Some people will say, "Oh, it's Thanks for Nothing Day," and we've got a lot to be thankful for, and we don't really agree how the holiday of Thanksgiving started, live Indians and pilgrims getting together, whatever. But we do have a lot to be thankful for, and so we're not going to say thanks for nothing.
So if you feel that way, you're more than welcome to come there anyway.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Well, wonderful again. Thank you so much, Brian, Olivia, Jason, and all of the other. We couldn't even fit everybody in the studio. We have so many friendly folks from Super Happy Funland.
Entourage.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much, and we're going to look for you tomorrow evening. Again, the website, superhappyfunland.com.
That's it.
Yes.
And you'll find out everything. Thanks again for coming, and happy Thanksgiving. Happy Veggie Day.
Yeah. Cheers.
Just a song, little ditty about turkeys, makes me wanna dance, just a little dance. Turkeys fly, then they multiply, they go wang, gobble, wang, gobble, wang. They set to fly, then they multiply, they go wang, gobble, wang. Turkeys fly, then they multiply, they go wang, gobble, wang. They set to fly, then they multiply, they go wang, gobble, wang.
You were listening to 90.1 KPFT in Houston, and be sure and look us up online at veganworldradio.org. We have a number of important events there and links to some of the announcements we've been speaking about today. Also, I forgot to mention earlier that in addition to Loving Hut Restaurant, the Field of Greens restaurant on West Alabama will also be open for a full vegan Thanksgiving feast tomorrow, so be sure and check them out. Also, this weekend, Friday through Sunday, November 27th through 29th, there is a holiday cat adoption extravaganza organized by No Kill Houston. Please go to our website and follow the link, www.veganworldradio.org, and find out all of the details. They're going to be open from, they're located at Westheimer and Wilcrest, and I believe it's 10 in the morning to mid-afternoon. 10 to 5. We're getting ready for our really special treat to speak to Tracy Frank of the SARA Animal Sanctuary in Seguin. And as we go to that, let's just listen to a brief clip of music from our former friend we've had on the show, singer, songwriter, animal rights activist, Justine Mayela. You can find out more at her website, justinemayela.com. And we're going to listen to a brief sample of her wonderful song, Celebration for the Turkeys, here on Vegan World Radio, 90.1 KPFT in Houston.
Joyful time, the holidays. Our friends have traveled from far away to join us on this festive day. The table set with a fine array, so bountiful, let's not delay. For all we're thankful for, we pray, and bless this meal we share today. Forced to die. Instead we celebrate their lives, for life is precious and profound. Just stop and look around. We gather here on this holiday, while animals, they romp and play, or sleep together in the hay. We know it's supposed to be this way.
And this is the Vegan World Radio Show here on 90.1 KPFT in Houston. My name is Jerrilyn, and I'm very excited. Our next guest joining us is the director, founder, and organizer of the SARA Animal Sanctuary near San Antonio, and they've got a very special event going on tomorrow. Tracy, are you with us?
Hi, Jerrilyn, I'm here.
Oh, wonderful. I'm joined on the phone by Tracy Frank, staying up late tonight to join us, and she's got a really big day tomorrow. Tracy, tell us what's going on, and then we want to hear more about what you do there at SARA.
Well, it's a sanctuary for animals. It started out initially just dogs and cats, but that saying, be careful what you wish for. I always wanted farm animals, and now we've got quite a few. Lots of pigs, horses, 4 cows, goats, lots of chickens, but mostly dogs.
Well, and you are a no-kill shelter, I believe, in the tradition of best friends. Is that right?
That's right. They inspired me and actually helped me get started. And I went out there in October finally, and it's a wonderful place. I recommend if you ever have an opportunity to go out and see the place. It's just gorgeous.
You are following in the good footsteps of that place. Of course, they have a huge piece of land, but what you're doing is so noble, and we've had you on the program before for the past 2 years now. Every time we hit the dreaded livestock show and rodeo, you've had an open invitation for any youngsters that get cold feet with their 4-H and FFA projects, and they want to spare their animals from violent death. You've offered a safe haven for any animals
Yeah, we
to
have
go
taken
there.
a few. And on a happy note, a sheep, Lambert, got adopted.
Oh, congratulations. That's a good happy ending.
Yeah, so that was good. Good for him. Yeah, we're happy to be on and try to spread the word about, there is an alternative to killing the animals after the stock show. It's just such an awful thing. It always haunted me when I was a child. I think I mentioned last time when, I'd love to go through the cattle barns and see all the cows, and then there'd be this dead cow with a picture, with a ribbon stuck on him in the window, and then there was a picture of him before. It's just sickening.
It's grisly, as is the general accepted observation of Thanksgiving, which a lot of people will be having tomorrow. They're putting a headless bird's body carcass in a oven and then celebrating, praying over it. It's backwards thinking.
It's very twisted, and I'm sure if you were like me, you grew up with all that.
Right, and thankfully we woke up, and our show is dedicated to waking others up, and you're opening up your doors tomorrow to let people know where you are and how big you are and what's going on tomorrow.
Okay, well, we're about a 3-hour drive from Houston, heading east, so we're, I don't know exactly how many miles, but it's not a bad drive. It's just pretty much a straight shot down I-10 and then another highway, and if people can find on our website, there's a map.
What is your web address?
SARAsanctuary.org.
And how do you spell that?
SARA, the word sanctuary, SANCTUARY.org.
And what's the phone number if people wanted to give a call when they're on the road tomorrow?
Well, and I should say, there's no one in here manning the phones really, but they're free to call. It might be better to email, but and you can email through the website. But our number is 830-401-0280.
Now, you're having a potluck tomorrow and open house where people are invited to come and volunteer and see what you're doing there. And
yeah, I let most of our staff off. So we're just going to be, doing the usual, taking care of the animals during the day. And then in the evening, we'll have a dinner and fire and watch the sunset. It should be nice.
Well, now this is such a treat, Tracy. I mean, for city folks here to get a chance to actually go somewhere, interact with the animals. You've got farm animals, you've got many rescued domestic animals, you've got the no-kill philosophy, you've proven that it can work.
Yeah, and they're all happy to see people. It's not like, I know some places don't like for people to come visit, but everybody here loves attention and wants to be seen and interact with people.
And
go ahead. Sorry.
I want you to hold that thought, but and on your website you have such touching, endearing stories of some of the cases of the animals that are living in permanent residence there, and just also I want you to tell us more. But the fact that so many animal sanctuaries, so many animal rescue groups that you will find for dogs and cats don't understand the vegan connection, and you guys do.
Yeah, exactly. They'll have a fundraiser and serve hot dogs or barbecue. And, well, this is something recently we had to, and it's hard trying to, some new volunteers, they're not all vegetarians, of course, but they don't get it either. We were recently asked to participate in a blessing of the animals, and I thought, well, that's nice, sure. People can go, and then when we got the flyer, they were having a barbecue lunch afterwards, and I just said, no, we can't. I never heard back when I tried to say in a nice way how wrong that was to the church officials, so we didn't go.
Well, and bless you for being out there, because I know it is a challenge. So many people think in their mind they love animals, and yet they sit down and eat animals right after they've been saying how much they love them. So the organization you have there where people can one-on-one interact with the farm animals that you have. So many people never see them.
That's true. We recently had a fundraiser in San Antonio, and we took Chloe, one of the calves, and there were people there who had never seen a cow up close. It's just kind of funny, and I guess that makes sense if you live in a city. You wouldn't have that opportunity. But so we welcome people to come, and if people do want to come, we always encourage them to clean out their refrigerators. Any produce or any leftover pumpkins from Halloween. The pigs would love that. Crackers, just anything you don't want. Someone here will eat it. So we always encourage people to do that. And what was I going to say? Yeah, and some people, we talked briefly earlier, consider Thanksgiving a national day of mourning. And yes, it's terrible. I don't know how many millions of turkeys are killed each year. But at the same time, you can come here and feel good about, the lives of animals, and not necessarily celebrate, but we'll celebrate their lives and the ones that aren't being slaughtered.
Well, and that there's a place like yours, a refuge for them to go and not have to face either slaughterhouse or a loss of their life in the city pounds, which happens to so many dogs and cats. Now, tomorrow, of course, is a festive holiday. We're encouraging everyone who can get on the road and get out there and enjoy this chance that you're having for open house. I mean, usually you guys are so busy taking care of animals, but for after tomorrow, if people would like to come out and volunteer and sponsor you, what is the procedure for that?
Well, we're asking people to show up around 10 or 11 to volunteer if they want. And that, basically will just be sort of, cleaning and, changing the litter, that kind of thing, feeding the animals. And then in the afternoon, we'll have the dinner. I've got a lot of stuff here, but if people want to bring a vegan dish, that's great, or drinks or whatever they might like. And if they don't want to work, they can just come out and hang out and eat and watch the sunset.
Well, of course, you can always use cash donations. I mean,
absolutely.
What you're doing there, you must constantly be in need. And I know you have a couple of fundraisers coming up. Or?
Yeah, we do. Well, the holidays are always a good time for us, December. And then in January, we're having a fundraiser at the Whitty Museum in San Antonio. And that'll all be, vegetarian menu, of course, and there'll be music. I believe we have a country western band. I don't know who they are, but someone's putting it together, and there'll be a huge silent auction, lots of great things, and we're taking some of the animals there. Chloe, our calf Goodwill ambassador, will be going, and it should be a lot of fun. Information about it on our website.
And again, that's SARA, SARAsanctuary.org. What does SARA stand for?
Well, we changed it. It used to be, the old name didn't make sense. I had an old dog named Sarah, so it was Southern Animal Rescue Association, but it's not really an association, and it's, not really that Southern, so we're trying to make it more inclusive. So now it stands for Society for Animal Rescue and Adoption.
Excellent. I just encourage, we're running out of time, but I encourage everybody to spend some time getting to know you, even if they have other plans for tomorrow. Make a pilgrimage out here to see what you're doing, the good work for animals. And I know that you have a long wish list. Apparently in summertime you go through a lot of swimming pools for the dogs and the little kitty wading pools, and just endless things that all of these animals who are so lucky to live with you could use. So it is the holiday season. We don't want to forget the animals. And thank you so much, Tracy,
for having us, Jerrilyn.
Having a vegan potluck and open house tomorrow.
Well, sure, and it's our pleasure. And anytime, come up. We'd love to see you. And we have the accommodations as well.
Oh, you have like cottages or something where...
kind of.
So, sort of, okay.
Mobile home, but it's a really nice mobile.
And I imagine if people want to camp, you'd have some land there, right?
We can do that, too.
All right. I encourage everyone to give you a look. Thank you again, Tracy Frank of SARA Sanctuary.
Take care. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
And we are bringing our show to a close now. You've been listening to the Vegan World Radio Show. We come to you every week, every Wednesday from 10 to 11 p.m. And be sure and tune in next week. We're having a wonderful show hosted by Pamela Kletke, and she has done some really heroic activism in the community. If you're a regular listener to KPFT, be sure and listen in to the next couple shows of the Progressive Forum or the Friday evening show with Ray Hill. I know Pamela's been invited to tell some of her recent stories on those programs, and she's going to be hosting next week, so do not miss it. We are all in for a special treat. Kudos to Pamela. Again, if you've missed any portion of today's program, you can hear us again on the KPFT archives at www.kpft.org. You can find us online at the veganworldradio.org website, and give us any feedback at info@veganworldradio. Stay tuned for Damage Control coming up next, and my name is Jerrilyn, and tomorrow have a blessed day. Think of the animals, and if you haven't before, decide to go vegan. And remember, there are a world of reasons to go vegan, and a vegan world will bring us peace. Join us again next week.
We've all played that game. What's the CD that you'd take to a desert island if you had only one choice?
Maybe it would be something by...
Or maybe it would be a disc from